Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share isn't found in any book or taught in any school. It's the secret that changes everything about how you attract quality men into your life. You see, many women chase after qualities, titles, and appearances, hoping to find the right man. But the truth is, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. The secret lies not in finding the right man, but becoming the right woman. A woman who understands her worth, walks confidently in her purpose, and refuses to settle for anything less than the respect she deserves. Imagine for a moment a magnet. It doesn't hunt for metal. It simply draws what's aligned with its own force. Your energy, your mindset, your self-respect. That's the force. When you nurture your character, sharpen your vision, and live intentionally, quality men are not just attracted, they are drawn to your light like moths to a flame. But this is not about superficial charm or fleeting appearances. It's about becoming a woman of substance, a woman who knows her value and refuses to compromise her standards. Now ask yourself, are you prepared to step into that identity? Because until you do, the kind of man who matches your depth, integrity, and vision will remain just out of reach. This is not luck or chance. It's a divine principle of alignment. And when you tap into it, the right man won't just find you, he will be magnetized to you. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, the relationships you desire don't seem to manifest? You might find yourself asking, why do I keep attracting the wrong people? Or, why am I always falling short of what I truly want? The answer is simple yet profound. You attract what you are, not what you want. This principle is a game changer. It's not about searching for a perfect partner out there somewhere. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally draws that partner to you. Think about it like this. The universe responds to the energy you put out. If you are constantly doubting yourself, settling for less, or pretending to be someone you're not, you send a confusing signal. It's like turning on a beacon, but the signal is weak, flickering, or off-key. People, especially quality men who value depth and authenticity, are drawn to genuine strengths, confidence, and clarity of purpose. When you embody these qualities, you become magnetic, not because you chase or force connection, but because you reflect the energy they seek. Many women focus on external things, appearance, charm, or trying to fit a certain mold, hoping to catch the eye of a quality man. But without the foundation of who you are inside, that attraction is fragile and temporary. It's like building a house on sand. It may look good for a moment, but it can't stand the storms. The truth is, the man who truly matches your heart's desire is looking for someone who knows herself, who understands her value, and who lives in alignment with her purpose. Imagine walking into a room where everyone's energy is palpable. Some people radiate confidence, others insecurity. Who do you notice first? Who do you gravitate toward? The confident person is not just noticed, they influence the room. The same is true in love and relationships. Your self-perception, your self-respect, and the way you carry yourself send out vibrations that attract like-minded souls. But what does it mean to attract what you are? It means that before you expect a man to respect you, you must respect yourself. Before you want honesty, you must embody integrity. Before you desire loyalty, you must be loyal to your own standards and values. You become the standard. When you know your worth and refuse to lower your expectations, you stop attracting those who can't meet that standard. Instead, you naturally draw men who are ready to step into that space with you, men who see your strength and want to rise to it. This principle is not just about relationships, it's about life itself. Everything you attract, from friendships to opportunities, reflects the energy you cultivate within. If you want a partner who uplifts and encourages you, start by becoming that person yourself. Fill your life with purpose, passion, and authenticity. The more you grow into your best self, the clearer your magnet becomes, pulling in those who resonate on that same level. And here's the beautiful part. This journey of becoming is empowering. You are not at the mercy of chance or luck. You hold the power to shape your relationships by shaping who you are. The man who aligns with your spirit is waiting, not somewhere out there, but aligned with the person you're becoming every day. Ask yourself now, who are you becoming? Because the answer to attracting quality men is not finding them, but being the kind of woman who commands respect, inspires trust, and lives unapologetically in her truth. When you embrace this, everything changes. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, do I truly know my worth? It's a question that sounds simple, but when you dig deep, it can shake the very foundation of how you see yourself and how you allow others to see you. Knowing your worth is not about arrogance or pride. It's about a deep, unshakable recognition that you are valuable, deserving, and capable of living a life that honors who you are. When you understand your worth, everything changes, especially the way you attract quality men. Too many women underestimate the power of self-awareness when it comes to relationships. They look outside for validation through compliments, attention, or approval, hoping these external affirmations will fill an internal void. But what happens when the validation runs dry? The relationship falters, confidence dips, and the cycle repeats. True power begins inside. It begins with a woman who knows her value, not because someone told her, but because she has claimed it for herself. Imagine what it feels like to walk into any room fully aware of your worth. You don't have to announce it or demand respect. It simply radiates from your presence. People sense it immediately. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that doesn't scream for attention, but naturally commands it. This kind of self-assuredness is magnetic because it signals to quality men that you are not a woman to be taken lightly or settled for. You are a prize worth pursuing. Knowing your worth also means setting boundaries that protect your peace and your standards. It means saying no to situations and people who don't honor your value and yes to those who elevate you. It means refusing to tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or anything less than the respect you deserve. This is not about perfection or being rigid. It's about loving yourself enough to create space for what truly aligns with your heart. When you live confidently in your worth, you also make choices that reflect that truth. You choose relationships that nurture your growth, friendships that support your vision, and opportunities that challenge you to rise higher. Your worth is the lens through which you evaluate everything, including the men you allow into your life. You stop wasting time on temporary distractions and start investing in connections that build a future. But here's something many overlook. Knowing your worth is not a destination. It's a continuous journey. Life will test your belief in yourself through challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when the world tries to convince you that you're less than enough. That's when your inner conviction becomes your strongest armor. It's the voice that whispers, "You are worthy," even when circumstances say otherwise. This kind of confidence doesn't come from luck or external approval. It comes from intentional self-reflection, self-care, and self-love. It's about recognizing your strengths, forgiving your flaws, and embracing your unique story. When you honor your journey, you build an unbreakable foundation that no rejection or failure can shake. And this foundation becomes the beacon that attracts men who see you, not just your surface, but the remarkable woman you are inside. You see, quality men aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for authenticity. They want a woman who knows her worth and lives boldly in it. Someone who can stand firm in her truth and walk beside them as equals. When you live confidently in your worth, you don't have to chase or convince anyone to stay. You become a natural magnet for the kind of love that respects, cherishes, and uplifts you. So ask yourself, are you living in the fullness of your worth, or are you still seeking validation from outside? The journey to attracting quality men starts with you stepping into your value, walking tall in your confidence, and living unapologetically as the woman you were created to be. Because when you know your worth, the world can't help but take notice. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to effortlessly attract men who are respectful, emotionally available, and ready to commit, while others constantly find themselves stuck in patterns of disappointment, confusion, and unfulfilling relationships? It's not about luck. It's not even about looks. The difference lies in something deeper, something powerful. A woman of substance and integrity attracts a different kind of man. Quality men who aren't intimidated by strength, but inspired by it. Substance is more than being nice or having good manners. It's about depth. It's about living with conviction, having strong values, and knowing what you stand for, even when no one is watching. A woman of substance doesn't just speak with elegance. She lives with authenticity. She doesn't adjust her standards to fit someone else's expectations. She holds her ground because she knows who she is. And that kind of woman, she's rare. She's not chasing attention. Attention finds her. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She chooses. Men of quality recognize this. They're not looking for someone to entertain them or stroke their ego. They're looking for connection, for alignment, for real. They want a partner who challenges them to grow, not one who merely goes along for the ride. When a man sees a woman who carries herself with grace, intelligence, and integrity, he sees more than beauty. He sees a future. Think about it. What happens when a man meets a woman who can articulate her values with clarity, who respects herself enough to say no without apology, who listens deeply and speaks with purpose? She becomes unforgettable, not because she's trying to impress him, but because her presence speaks volumes. Her identity isn't built around pleasing others, it's built around living in truth. Integrity, on the other hand, is the glue that holds it all together. It's what makes a woman trustworthy, consistent, and whole. Integrity means you do what you say even when it's hard. It means you don't play games, manipulate emotions, or say one thing and do another. A woman of integrity creates a sense of safety, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And quality men, those who lead with character, not ego, are drawn to that safety, that honesty, that rare transparency. But here's the twist. Being a woman of substance and integrity is not always easy. It means making tough choices. It means walking away from situations that look good but feel wrong. It means holding out for alignment, even when loneliness knocks at your door. And yes, it means being misunderstood by those who prefer convenience over connection. But the reward, it's everything. Because when you carry substance, you set the tone, you set the standard. You don't need to beg for loyalty or affection. It's given freely by those who can see the richness of your soul. You don't need to chase a man who is unsure, because the right man, the quality man, will recognize your depth and choose to rise to your level. He will respect the way you speak, admire the way you think, and value the way you move through life with intention. Let me be clear. Substance isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about owning your story, your values, your growth, and showing up with a heart that is whole, not hungry. When you are rooted in integrity and substance, you become the mirror that reflects what a man either is or isn't ready for. And that reflection reveals more than words ever could. So if you've ever asked yourself, where are the quality men? Start by looking inward. Ask, am I walking in substance? Am I living with integrity? Because when you become that kind of woman, you won't have to search for the right man. The right man will find you. Have you ever met someone who walks into a room and, without saying a word, shifts the atmosphere? You can't quite explain it, but there's something about them. It's not the clothes, not the voice, not even their appearance. It's their energy, it's their alignment. You feel it before they speak. And whether you realize it or not, that same power is within you. The secret, your alignment, your character, your mindset, and your internal clarity is what creates real attraction. Not temporary attention, not shallow interest, but deep, lasting connection. And that's what quality men are drawn to. Attraction isn't about how loudly you can shout or how hard you can chase. It's about resonance. Think of a tuning fork. When one is struck, another close by begins to vibrate at the same frequency. That's alignment. That's what happens when your inner world is solid, whole, and in sync with what you desire. You attract people who are in tune with your energy, your values, and your vision. And the more aligned you are with who you truly are, the less effort it takes to draw the right person toward you. Let's be honest. Most people are out here trying to attract love while completely out of alignment with themselves. They want peace but live in chaos. They desire honesty but tell little lies to fit in. They ask for commitment but aren't fully committed to themselves. And that misalignment sends out mixed signals, the kind that attract confusion, not clarity, inconsistency, not stability. The moment you bring yourself into alignment, you start attracting people who match your truth, not your wounds. It starts with character. Who are you when no one is watching? Do your actions reflect your words? Do your boundaries match your self-respect? Character isn't just about how you treat others. It's about how you treat yourself. A woman who is aligned with her character doesn't just hope for respect, she lives it. She sets the tone with how she carries herself, how she makes decisions, and how she honors her own voice. The consistency is attractive, is magnetic, and is unforgettable. Then comes mindset. Your beliefs about yourself, about love, and about what you deserve are shaping your reality more than anything else. If you believe deep down that you are too much or not enough, that will reflect in your relationships. If you carry limiting beliefs like all men are the same or good love doesn't exist anymore, you'll unconsciously sabotage the good that tries to come your way. But when your mindset is rooted in self-worth, clarity, and faith in what you deserve, you become a force. You become the kind of woman who doesn't just wait for love, she attracts it by the way she thinks, speaks, and moves. And perhaps most importantly, clarity. Alignment without clarity is like having a destination with no map. You need to know what you stand for and what you won't tolerate. What does a healthy relationship look like for you? What kind of energy do you want to build with someone? When you're clear, you stop entertaining what doesn't align. You stop mistaking potential for purpose. Clarity becomes your compass, guiding your choices and filtering your connection. A woman in alignment doesn't need to perform or pretend. She's not trying to prove her worth. She embodies it. Her life reflects her values. Her decisions reflect her standards, and her energy reflects her growth. That's what draws quality men. Men who are also aligned, who value truth over pretense, who aren't just looking to take but to build. Men who aren't intimidated by strength but inspired. So if you've ever asked, why do I keep attracting the same type of men? The answer may not lie in what you're doing, but in who you're being. Because when your character is solid, your mindset is strong, and your clarity is sharp, you stop chasing and start attracting. Not just anyone, but someone who's aligned with everything you've become. Have you ever asked yourself why it feels easier to lower your standards than to be alone? Why sometimes, despite everything you know you deserve, you find yourself staying in situations that shrink you, confuse you, or leave you questioning your value? The truth is, many people don't attract what they truly desire because they constantly compromise what they know they're worth. But here's the secret: refusing to compromise your standards is not about arrogance or being too picky. It's about protecting your peace, your value, and your future. The moment you decide to no longer settle for less, everything in your life begins to shift. There's something powerful about a woman who draws a clear line and says, this is the level. If you can't rise to meet it, you're not for me. That energy, it's not cold or harsh, it's magnetic. It's the kind of energy that makes people pause, pay attention, and step up. Because standards are not about keeping people out, they're about making sure the right people know how to come in. You see, when you compromise your standards, you're not just lowering the bar for someone else. You're also telling yourself that your needs, your values, your dreams are negotiable. And once you start negotiating with your own worth, it's only a matter of time before resentment, frustration, and confusion set in. Relationships that are built on compromise of identity can never bring peace. Why? Because deep down you know you've betrayed yourself to make it work. It's not that high standards scare people away. It's that they filter. They expose what someone is truly willing to bring to the table. And here's what no one tells you. Quality men respect a woman with standards. A woman who says, I won't entertain inconsistency, or I value honesty, so I don't tolerate games, is not seen as difficult. She's seen as clear. And clarity is attractive. It doesn't confuse. It doesn't send mixed messages. It says, this is who I am, this is what I require, and I'm willing to wait for what aligns. But let's be honest, refusing to settle can feel lonely, especially in a world that constantly whispers, maybe you're asking for too much. It takes courage to say no to a relationship that looks good on the surface but lacks depth. It takes strength to walk away from someone who gives you attention but not intention. And it takes real self-respect to sit in silence rather than surround yourself with noise that doesn't serve you. That silence, though, that space you hold for something real, that's where your power is. That's where growth happens. That's where clarity becomes conviction. You stop allowing potential to blind you to patterns. You stop making excuses for red flags, and instead, you begin choosing yourself not out of fear, but out of alignment. When you refuse to compromise your standards, you begin to move differently. You attract differently. People feel the difference. And those who are not ready for that level of accountability may fall away. But those who are, they will rise to meet you. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy made it clear that anything less wouldn't last. Don't ever let the fear of being alone convince you to accept less than you deserve, because loneliness is far less painful than waking up next to someone who doesn't see your worth. Being alone with your peace is more fulfilling than being with someone who constantly makes you question your value. So ask yourself, what do I believe I truly deserve? And then match your actions to that belief. Because once you refuse to compromise your standards, you stop auditioning for love and you start attracting people who are already qualified for the role. The truth is, the kind of love you attract is a direct reflection of how deeply you honor yourself. When you understand your worth, live with integrity, carry substance, walk in alignment, and refuse to compromise your standards, you become the kind of woman who doesn't chase love, but draws it naturally. Not just any love, but the kind that respects, uplifts, and grows with you. Remember, you are not here to convince someone of your value. You are here to embody it. Keep becoming, keep evolving, and never settle for less than what reflects the depth of who you truly are. Thank you for listening, and may your journey be full of clarity, confidence, and connection. Good luck, and stay true to yourself.